guys.
Welcome back to another episode of Pew Time with Tony.
And Jackie.
Episode, what the hell are we on now? 219?
Episode 219.
That's right. Jump right in. Starting off with gun news. There's only one thing gun product related, and Smith & Wesson has released the new Shield X Performance Center Blue.
Blue PVD.
Oh, sorry, that's part of the name?
Yes.
That's so lame.
Blue PVD with compensator is the title of it, but they make two different versions.
Okay. So the Shield X is the one that only takes the 12 round mag.
13 and 15s only.
Oh yeah, 13s.
Oh my gosh. Do you want me to do this one?
No, I got this one. I think so. You know, I haven't had a lot of experience with a Shield because I had mine stolen and it's not been recovered.
The Shield X is a completely different model.
Yeah, but it's still a Shield.
Go on.
Anyway, and by stolen,
I said go on.
all right, so 13 round model. You can also do the 15s, and has a threaded barrel only for $6.99. Or you can get a compensator, a little single chamber one, and it's $7.49. Bad news for you people that can't have threaded barrels, because this is that.
Yep.
The price is not bad. I mean, it's around what it should be.
Right.
I really want to shoot the Shield X again, because the last time I shot it was okay. I didn't see why I would get that over the regular Shield for the magazine compatibility thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't put 10s in this one. It's 13, 15 only.
Right.
The nice thing with this one, and we did discuss it a little bit when they first dropped it, is that the X has a accessory rail on it.
That's
the
true.
Original Shield does not.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a 3.5 instead of a 3.1. So a little bit longer on the nose.
Yeah. I suppose. They're really digging this blue PVD though.
It's gorgeous.
It's cool looking, but Smith is like, hey, this is good looking. Let's see how many different guns we can put it on.
I think the last one they put it on was the M&P Metal Performance Center, the very first variation of it that came out. The competition steel frame one.
No, it wasn't the competition one. This is the one they did with the compensator. The spec series, whichever one that was.
Yeah, spec series. One of their fancy schmancy things, Performance Center spec series.
Right. You have a bit of icky news from the Illinois government.
Oh, yeah. A proposed House bill in Illinois, number 4414. I'm sure many of you have seen this going all around social media, but for those of you who have not, it was introduced earlier this year. It proposes a mandatory serialization and registration system for handgun ammunition, creating a centralized database for tracking purchases. The proposal includes a tax of up to 5 cents per round and makes a possession of non-serialized legal ammunition in public a Class C misdemeanor, and that would go into effect January 1st, 2027. Now, like I said, this is a proposed bill, not an active, voted on, passed legislation. It is proposed. Key notes for this to be aware of: the ammunition must be registered and linked to the buyer's name in the Illinois State Police database. There will be an ammunition tax of up to 5 cents per round, aimed at funding the program's implementation and enforcement. And beginning January 1st is when it would start, if passed. I mean, there are exceptions for law enforcement,
of course,
for the serialized ammunition. That is the only exception I've seen in skimming through this.
Which is, at face value, hilarious, because of all the people that you would want to have serialized ammunition, wouldn't you want it to be law enforcement?
Right.
Right? You serialize your guys' guns. Oh, this firearm was a police officer's. It was found at a crime scene. Oh, this ammunition was found here. It was found at a crime scene.
Right.
Not saying all cops are bad, but I'm saying to follow the status quo that you guys have stuff logged out to you, right, it would make sense that your ammunition would be the same.
And I don't know if all departments do it. I know the big departments like CPD does it, Cook County does it. When you get a service weapon, that weapon is registered with the department as being your service weapon. That is the only weapon you can carry while on duty.
Right. Yeah. The big complaint I hear from people, or they're screaming about this, is it'll never pass because what manufacturer is going to go through that process? Well, as it turns out, I do believe whoever introduced this bill, I can't remember the names, but I remember reading it somewhere that whoever introduced this bill, one of their relatives is part of the company that is developing a way to serialize them.
That's scary.
And people are complaining, oh, no manufacturer will ever do that. Guys, that's not the point. The point is they're trying to push this through and they'll try and shove this down hidden in some bill. I don't like talking politics and stuff on the show for obvious reasons. But you guys can't ignore it. You can't stick your head in the sand, especially if you're involved in guns really at all. And the fact that they're trying to do it, because given the state like this or California, the easy solution is for them, you're going, oh, it'll never pass because no manufacturer will do it. Just as easily, Illinois and California will go, that's fine, none of your ammo can be sold here.
Right.
And then you have no ammo.
Right.
That they don't care if you have ammo, right? That's all the more better for them.
Right. An ammunition manufacturer would just not sell to two states, us, California, whoever else would pass a law like this.
Right.
And it does seem there is a pattern when one passes something, it passes in other states or other cities just like it. Cook County has a firearms and ammunition tax in effect since 2013. So it's been 13 years they've been taxing. I don't know if it's just Seattle or if it's the whole state of Washington passed an ammunition tax 3 or 4 years ago. Like it's a rolling thing. They're like, oh, Illinois got theirs passed. Let's see if we can copy paste and pass that through here as well.
Right.
And it's happening.
So we didn't have anything shooting sports related
For this week. But the season is, it's getting warmer outside. There's going to be many more matches upcoming.
And there will be plenty of questions that pertain to that later.
Yes.
But you guys killed it with questions. So thank you so much. Later on in the show, we're going to start going through them. Usually Mondays, I make a post in the stories on Instagram and Facebook about asking for questions from you guys that you want in the show. You can email us, pewtimepodcast@gmail.com, or throw your question in that post or send us a message. Either one. And we'll have it in the show and gives us something to talk about. So I think we're going to jump to your segment, Tales from the Gun Counter, which this one, just because I already know the premise of it, is fucking hilarious.
It is hilarious. So a very, very short backstory so you guys can understand why I am accessing all of this stuff. Illinois has a gun card called a FOID. Applications for getting a card or renewing a card, same with our concealed carry, are all online, which everybody knows somebody who has a difficult time with computers, devices, things like that.
Or they're just lazy.
Electronically declined and need assistance in doing so. Part of my job at work is assisting people with their application process. When people don't have access to their own account, their username, their password, things like that, it is a little more difficult to get in, but we can work our way around it. They get an email. The email helps them to reset their link. I can only help them reset their link if they understand how to open an email. So a lot of times people will hand me their device and go, caveman, no, here, help. So I assist people with opening their email, tapping the link to change the password. I had a gentleman, a older, more seasoned gentleman, not experienced, because that's why he's here to see me. He goes, I only have access to my email to do this password thing you talk about on my tablet. So can I bring my tablet and you can help me that way? I said, absolutely. That will not be the answer anymore, I'll tell you that. He sets his tablet down, puts in his little passcode. It's an Apple, so it's iPad. It's got like this nice little case, a nice little keyboard attached to it. He looks like he probably uses it pretty frequently. I was concerned as to why he needed my help. Sets the tablet down And just like any internet browser, when you have only 2, 3 tabs open, you can read the titles of all the tabs that are open. Holy shit. The porn. The porn on this guy's tabs that were all open. Like, someone should teach him what private browsing is. Someone should also teach him how to close them before he asks a young lady with red hair and a larger upper half to help him, as the tabs read Pornhub, red hair, big boobs. No joke. That was the title on the second tab open. And the first and third were not much better. I did get his password changed. And I don't know if he realized it when he asked for my help, but there's a good chance when he gets home and he closes the tab for the state police, the one that's open, and he'll realize what he just sat before me.
So all I got from that is he clearly knows how to work a computer.
Yep. I went and sanitized the shit out of my hands after that. Oh my God. Oh my God.
So you have a new work policy?
I have a new work policy because that is not the first thing that I've seen that you can't unsee. Luckily, I didn't see images or videos. It was just titles in a tab, but it's bad enough. It's bad enough. The other things that I've had were, oh, I don't have a physical certificate with me, but I took a picture of it. Can we upload that for my class? I said, absolutely. Can you here do it? Can you email this picture? Sure. I emailed the picture, and there are all sorts of other pictures in people's camera rolls that no one but them should ever see. So I have a new policy. I will draft the email. I will type who to send it to, put your name in there, and hit the little paperclip for attachments and turn the phone straight to you. You are the only one who can see it. You can click the button, select all the pictures you'd like to send, and hit send. Well, can you just... Nope. It is my policy.
Further proof that there are policies for reasons.
There are policies for reasons, and I will not be helping you go through a gallery of photos to find the thing you need. You will look through your stuff, you will find it, and you will tap the button. And I will not be looking at any photos on any phones. The other thing, which is hilarious, there are so many people in the older generation that have risque, we'll say, photos as the wallpaper on their cell phone. And when they say, hey, Jackie, I got this text from the state about renewing my FOID. Oh, it's here somewhere. Hang on. Look. It's not a text they're showing me. They're showing me their home screen and pointing at the little red button that says one new message. And I'm looking at a plus size model in purple lingerie. I don't know that your woman would appreciate you showing anyone what you decided to make your wallpaper.
So the old adage of dirty old men is
Absolutely accurate. Absolutely accurate.
fantastic.
And this is like an ongoing thing. I just had one this week again that I had to insist that they please select their own photos and then explain to them why I would not do that, because you can't unsee things.
I'm going to tell you right now, you have no idea what the thumbnail post for this episode is going to contain.
Oh no.
Oh, shit. Uh,
That is it for this week at the gun counter.
okay. Okay. Our week in shooting. We're going to follow that up.
Not as entertaining as Tales from the Gun Counter this week.
That was a good one. That was a dirty old bastards.
I imagine like cashiers that take like digital coupons and stuff like that get stuff like that all the time too. So I'm probably not the only person out there in the service industry assisting someone with something electronic. But damn, be mindful, people. this week in shooting.
So we shot our bows.
We did.
Yeah.
And I did not go as hard this week as I did last week. I made a conscious effort to, when I was having a difficult time and getting fatigued during the draw, that was when I called it quits. Because last week, huge regrets.
Yeah.
I was sore for like 2 days. I way overdid it last week. So
I tried getting my 50-yard pin zeroed. It's a little off. It's not perfect yet, but I'm at least there. It's in the realm.
you know it's not in the realm. Your arrow's on the target.
Really? Just gonna call me out like that? There's only 2 people that knew what happened there. Clearly, Jose is more trustworthy than you. Yes, 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 using the stupid thumb release. I don't know what happened, but I got maybe I doubt I pulled back anything really. And it just I was so worried that it went over the berm, but luckily I don't sky draw. I draw straight.
Yeah.
And it's because of that, and that's why I understand why you do it, because you're trying to get stronger doing it. Scares the shit out of me every time. I'm like, this is not gonna do, like, if you thought lawn darts was bad.
Well, I'm always very cautious. I always keep my entire hand behind the trigger of the release during the draw.
I can't really do that with this thumb release.
Right.
It's kind of just there. And I have this fear, like I tend to draw a little further away from my face than I used to, because I used to have just a regular wrist release. And now this one has got the thumb. And I'm so worried it's gonna like snag on the beard hair or smack my chin as I'm pulling it back, and it's just gonna so one did do that. Luckily, you found it.
Yep.
It was way west of where the target was.
Right.
But the 50 is almost sighted in. Do you feel pretty comfortable? Are you getting more comfortable with it?
A little bit. I feel like going fresh into like my very first shot. We did a cold draw at the 3D deer, and we both hit our very first one in a kill zone. So that was a huge confidence booster. My first arrow down range is exactly where I wanted it at 35. I did spend quite a bit of time at 40 before I realized I should really focus on like my 30 and 35, like tightening it up before I push to 40.
Yeah, but I mean, the skills there are the same. Like, if the 40 you think is zeroed, it's zeroed. So, I mean, even practicing at distance, the good thing the distance shows you, it shows you all of the errors.
Hmm. And I
So,
was seeing quite a bit of them. There was quite a wild spread. I had a handful that, 2, 3 in a row were like in the same region, which was good, consistency. But I felt like it was pretty windy. We got a few good wind gusts, but I was letting that affect my release time.
mhm.
So I was like holding it longer than I needed to, because of the wind, waiting for it to settle down, still waiting for it to settle down. And then I'm like, F it, just send it. And kind of like pushing through and like jerking the release. And like, you can get like a flinch when you're shooting. I feel like my support hand has like a flinch if I'm holding it too long, and then I like push to release between wind gusts.
Mhm.
I'm getting like a flinch on my wrist if I'm doing it between wind gusts because I'm rushing it.
Hmm.
So that is something I need to work on.
Well, that's good. Yeah, it was very cool to see you do. I think it was the first time you went out there and actually did like a cold shot with me.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was a nice confidence booster. It's good to know you would have hit one.
Yeah. Yeah. Really exciting. 35 yards on a 3D deer who's, you know, significantly smaller than an actual deer.
Yeah, I mean, not that much smaller when you consider the distance. Like,
That's true.
it's it's pretty accurate. Then, which thankfully you listened to me, because we also had to pattern shotguns for upcoming spring turkey.
And the question I asked you before we got out of the car, because the ranges are like side to side, side by side, the archery range and the trap range where we were going to pattern. And I said, hey, are we doing shotguns first or bows first? I wasn't thinking about the repercussions of doing shotgun first. And I'm really happy that you were thinking ahead of the game, because I would have been in a world of pain and not done very good with my bow at all.
Yep. And like I told you, these are turkey loads, so it's not like a trap load.
Right.
It's got a little bit
They're
more
3-inch instead of
pop
two
to
and
it.
3/4. So 3-inch number 5s. It's quite spicy. Even though it was 20 gauge, like it's still like
Mhm.
it kicked my ass. Luckily, the shotgun that I'm using is 870 and it's got a wood stock, so it's got a little bit more heft to it than like a polymer stock gun.
Mhm.
So that was good.
It patterned really well. We got you an extra full choke for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally got an extra full choke for my gun. I'm still using the Mossberg 590 that I've used for everything lately. Um, the ammo, I gotta say, I was a little disappointed in. I think the ammo you had patterned better, so I'm gonna try some of that in 12 gauge
Mm-hmm.
and see how that patterns. And I'm gonna probably have to re-zero it just a little bit, but I want to see if that Winchester Longbeard XT or whatever
XR.
XR does a little bit better because I like how it shot out of your gun.
Yeah, the
And
grouping is supposed to be much tighter with that.
yeah, and it showed. I mean, even a 20 gauge compared to like my 12, the grouping at the same distances was vastly different.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested to see what that XR stuff will do.
And like pellet for pellet, they're going to be roughly the same. They're like the exact same weight, both 3 inches, both copper plated lead, both 3-inch number 5. Like they're the same, but it doesn't have, there's like a plastic
Yeah, they have a modified wad.
that holds the spread until it's farther out
Yeah.
on the long beards, which is why it stays so tight. So I'm really excited to see what we can both do with the same round, 1 in 20 gauge, 1 in 12,
Hmm.
and repattern it out.
We need to order some more pizza.
Pizza boxes.
Yes.
Yeah, huge fan. Let's do pizza.
Okay. So did bows, pattern shotgun. I'm man enough to say even those they kick the 12 gauge kicks a bit with 3-inch. Like it's got some pop to it. So dry fire the next day, not ideal. Not a it's not as fun. Drawing out of a holster was a little bit more of a like, oh, oh, I'm tender here.
Did you dry fire before or after the 2 hours of yard work?
After,
Yeah.
well, the next day, and that's not conducive to having good draws.
No.
I up the part time to make myself feel better. This is not good. This is not good at all. Speaking of dry fire, it is going fairly good. I'm ramping back up to do it daily and have it more focused daily because Northern Illinois is around the corner and I would like to do good at that match. So I'm going to have to focus up here in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Last thing, this isn't really our weekend shooting, but it dealt with shooting because it dealt with hunting. We finally cooked the nut pirates, also known as squirrels.
Yes, Rocky was delicious. So cleaned them, sectioned out their limbs, took all their belly meats and stuff to make like a gumbo, which I'm gonna try for this week. But all of the limbs we made wings, which is funny because flying squirrels.
Oh my god! But yeah, we cooked them just like wings. Our buddy Robert came over. He's the one that went hunting with us. He's been on the show a couple times, and he manned the grill. He made some awesome barbecue sauce,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, we grilled them just on the grill.
Yeah, it was really, really tasty.
It was super good. I will say that it wasn't super gamey. It had a unique taste, but it wasn't like a ooh, this is a weird
Yeah, it
taste.
wasn't weird, but it was definitely different. Yeah, a lot of people say like, "Oh, squirrel, it just like tastes like chicken." It doesn't taste like chicken. They're built skeletal wise similar to chickens. In the limbs.
Yeah,
They actually have collarbones. Did you know that?
because that's where I had to cut the head off at. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
well aware where that's at.
Squirrels have collarbones. They're one of the few rodents that have collarbones.
Huh.
So that was an interesting little tidbit I learned. But yeah, I'm also learning a lot about where all the muscle tissues are, what connects to what, where the tendons are, how to cut things, how to follow lines down. And the more I do, the quicker this will go because I cannot spend all of those hours cleaning and cutting squirrels for that little ass meat.
But it ended up being quite a bit.
Oh
We
yeah,
had 8 squirrels.
24 wings.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. And about 8 to 10 ounces between those 8 squirrels of, like, backstrap, belly fat, the meat around the rib cage, which is nice in the wintertime because I imagine summer squirrels probably don't have that much meat around the ribs.
well, they're just muscle dense animals.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say we didn't do anything prep wise for this. This was just straight squirrel with seasoning and barbecue sauce on it.
Mm-hmm.
It was tasty. Now, some of it was a little overdone. It would help if we were on a better grill.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the best grill for cooking, but it was getting done. Some of it got a little tough. So next time, I'm gonna soak them overnight in buttermilk to help tenderize the meat, put more fat content into it, and then I think the toughness will subside.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be interesting to see how they taste after the fact too. See if it loses that like unique flavor.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what they would taste like without that unique flavor, if it would taste like chicken.
I don't know. Maybe we'll have to see. I'll let you know because we're definitely having squirrel again. It was really good. Like I really liked it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I enjoyed it. And it does have the same cooking temps as chicken.
Yes.
165.
Yep.
So I'm really excited. Once August 1st hits, you better come and bring me some more nut pirates because I am excited to try a bunch more recipes. Everybody's been sending me these awesome squirrel recipes. So I'm really looking forward to trying a bunch of them.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. All right, guys, killed it with questions this week. Thank you so much. Let's jump right in. And this one actually has a weird follow up question because I checked it just before we started recording. I'm going to only buy one lever action. Should I get a Henry X in 357 or the Smith & Wesson? Go ahead and go.
So I am like a little obsessed with the Smith & Wesson lever actions, like the flat face trigger, the big loop.
Blasphemy. Go ahead. Hurry up so I can tell you why you're wrong.
All of the extra, like they look so good.
Yeah.
I don't have any other reason besides the aesthetics are more appealing to me than the Henry X. The Henry X was always like the one that I wanted to get prior to the Smith coming out. But I will say there's a lot more aftermarket available for the Henry than the Smith.
So I'm sure you can kind of guess why I would say.
Because you like upgrades.
But it's not just upgrades. See, you're jumping to conclusions. Insane. First off, it's got nothing to do with that. Henry is a company filled with making American made firearms that are lever actions for decades. Decades.
Mm-hmm.
Smith & Wesson hopped on a train that was popular.
Got it.
See where I'm going with this?
I do.
And the options for the Henry, not to mention, not that Smith & Wesson doesn't have good customer service, but I will say, and everyone knows I'm a Smith guy, I've seen increasing number examples of Smith & Wesson basically telling people, too bad, so sad with your gun. And a lot of this has to do with revolvers. Like, revolvers getting, like, worn out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so like a 642 aluminum J-frame. If the firing pin hole or anything gets worn out, stuff gets worn out on it, aluminum just over time it's a lighter metal, it's a weaker metal.
Mm-hmm.
They're meant for comfort carry. They're not meant to last forever. And there are plenty of online discussions of people showing the letter they get from Smith & Wesson going, we returned it to you. We don't recommend you shoot it. What?
Right.
That's not cool. Now, having dealt with Henry's customer service, it's some of the best customer service in the industry because they know they make a great product. They stand behind their product, and that product is loved for generations.
Right.
Like it's an awesome product and an awesome company. So I would absolutely get a Henry 357 over that. And yes, the aftermarket is flooded. Like if you wanted fancy looking furniture like what's on the Smith, you could get Woox, like what's on our 590. And just saying, if you wanted to save a little bit of bread, when you order your furniture, it is Laugh and Load 10 for a discount code. All one word, laugh, the letter N, load 10. I'll save you some dough for getting some pretty wood.
Yeah. Huge fan.
Obviously, I'm a big fan of the Henry. I like it. I like our little 22s. If I was getting a 357, it'd be that.
So if I was going to get it with the intention of decking it out, I would go.
You can just admit that you're wrong. It's fine.
Lord Almighty. Side by side on the rack as they come, I am more attracted to the Smith. Knowing what we know about the companies and about aftermarket support, and yes, customer service is very, very important. That would sway me more to the Henry.
So, given the option, you'd buy the Henry.
Because I live with you, and whatever comes in this house is going to get an upgrade whether I want it or not. Yes.
So, you'd buy a Henry.
Yes.
So, you were wrong.
I was wrong.
Okay.
It's on air.
Mark it on the calendar. It's funny because the person that sent this question in sent us both the same question. And then I saw the reply was Tony said Henry. You said Smith & Wesson. Why?
We got the exact same copy and pasted question in the exact same format, same punctuation and everything.
Well, now you know why. Because I give you a opinion backed by suitable evidence and facts and experience, and Jackie talks out of her ass.
Jackie says, "It's shiny.
Yep.
I like it."
What's your favorite football team? The purple ones. All right. Next question. This was a pretty good one too. If you had $1,000 to $2,000 to spend, which is awesome. That's awesome. I probably do this whole scenario 2 or 3 times a day. On the ultimate carry setup, what would you go with? I'll let you go first because there's a good chance you're also going to be wrong.
So I did something that you're not supposed to do.
Yeah. Did you bend the rules?
I added up my current setup.
Yeah, I'd never do that. Especially because you didn't build your current
I know.
setup. I did.
I know. And well, it fits in that window.
Yeah.
Is almost exactly in the middle of the window.
The look on your face. I was like, what are you doing? And she just looks like the glare. I'm like, what? And she goes like, that question we got? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, well, I figure I should add up what I carry. I'm like, no. Why? That's not what the question asked.
Like I have not been like this happy with what I carry and how I carry every day. Like the holster.
All right, we'll go through it real quick. What do you carry?
Everything. So I carry the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus with the Lucky 3 from Monsoon Tactical, a Gideon Valor Mini, and it's inside of the Tier 1 APX holster. I do have NDZ mag extension on my 10 rounder just for pinky, and then I carry my 15 as my backup. I carry Federal HST 124s in everything. Everything added up was in the like low 15s. So I am like dead center in this realm of like what would be the ultimate. The other part of, and I'll let you go ahead and do yours first before I go ahead and
you're
expand
good.
on it more. The part asking is this was specifically asking for your EDC. E stands for everyday. Or every, right? Everyday carry. That's what the E stands for, is every. An expansion or a stipulation part of the question was, like if I want a staccato, and I'm going to carry it every day. I'm like, the guy asking the question is very thin. And doesn't carry a gun of that size at this moment. He's carrying a Glock 42. So going up 4 times the size of his gun. And you haven't even factored, the holster and optic into, the equation of that 1 to 2,000. Is it worth it? My question back to him was, is it something you'll carry every day? Otherwise, it's not an EDC. It's a occasional DC.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So everyday carry would be like this. What I carry every single day is the Shield Plus. I very, very rarely, like less than once a month, will carry like my LCP if I can't hide my shield in something. And I generally don't carry anything bigger because concealment.
Right. So if you didn't have your current carry setup, what would you do? What would it be in that price range? You don't even know.
I mean, I don't feel like there's anything in the concealable size category that I shoot as well as the gun that I'm currently carrying.
Oh, well, that's a good
Like
place to be.
the only other thing that I can shoot just as well is the Bodyguard 2.0,
Mhm.
and it is a smaller frame, so I would be able to actually conceal that even more frequently than I carry the Shield. But I have 9 in the Shield. We're at over 380
Mhm.
with just slightly less rounds, 10 and 12 versus the 10 and 13 and 15 that I carry. So they're close together. But the only other thing that I could think of that I would carry every day if it wasn't the Shield Plus would be the Bodyguard 2.0.
Okay.
And it's not anywhere near that price range. So I have a lot of wiggle room. Like I can send it to Monsoon and have so much stuff done to it.
Have it
And
comped.
and
Red dot cut.
have it comped, have it red dot cut, have it painted. Like I could do so much if you sent me a $2,000 limit and the Bodyguard was my gun. Monsoon is getting everything's gonna be monsoonized.
Okay. Um, this is a tough one. So I had a couple different answers. To me, I think one of the best current carry gun polymer wise is either a CZ P10C or an M&P compact. And then it's gonna sound like a script, but they would both have Apex kits in them because they both have phenomenal triggers for them. And then I would do some type of, if you wanted, you don't have to do it. If you wanted some type of porting, you could do it. And a red dot of whatever I would choose.
Well, both of those guns come with a comp version.
Well, that's true.
If you weren't going to send it out to have the milling done and have the sight moved and everything like that,
That's true.
the P10C comped and then the M&P carry comp.
Okay. Well, so there you have that.
Mm-hmm.
I would tell you, to me, if I had this, the ultimate carry setup for me, what that means to me is something that you can carry every day. Like what you said.
Mm-hmm.
To me, having something that I can everyday carry is paramount. It trumps everything, which is why I mostly carry a revolver. Because I carry in my pocket, it's the easiest thing for me to do. And I can confidently say I probably carry a gun more than most people because I carry pretty much every day. I can't remember the last time I didn't have a gun on me.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to court, but even then, to and from, I still had a gun on me.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, if I have $2,000 to spend, I want to be able to have a gun that allows me to carry at all times. And to me, that's not one gun. So to me, I'm going to cheat.
Okay.
To me, I'm going to find whatever Micro to mid-size 9mm, I like. M&P, CZ, anything inside that realm. They're usually around $500-600. That could be a Shield Plus, full-size M&P, P10, whatever it is. And then I'm going to spend a little bit extra money and pick up like a 642 or even that new Diamondback.
Yes.
Okay, that's $500. So now you have pretty much every aspect covered. You have a gun that'll kind of do everything if you get like an M&P compact. So you could buy the M&P compact, a red dot, and if you wanted a good red dot like your Valor Mini, and to help stay within this budget, you could also use discount code LNL10, save 10% and free shipping on any Gideon optic. Then get a revolver and a holster for the revolver and a holster for the M&P.
Mm-hmm.
For all of this.
Yeah.
Not saying you're going to be able to afford the Apex kit right away. Luckily, the 3rd gen M&Ps, their triggers halfway decent.
Yeah. Very nice triggers.
And the P10s are actually really good triggers out of the box. And then you have a revolver. To me, that's like you have a gun, moderate size carry, can pretty much do all you could compete with that, carry that. It covers all bases. And then you have one that, oh shit, I'm wearing basketball shorts today. Well, guess what? You can still carry a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Throw your revolver and a little leather holster, a Kydex holster in your pocket. It weighs nothing. And I guess for the price of a 642, you could technically get like an LCP Max or a Bodyguard 2.0.
If you're going to pocket carry, you really should go with the LCP Max.
There's tons of people that do it. They chop the beaver tail a little bit on the...
Oh, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah, on the 2.0s. I can't shoot the 2.0. We've been through this 1,000 times, but there are people that do it. But to me, that's the better option. If you have that much to spend, I like making sure that I can carry a gun all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would do. And it quickly, you can see, I mean, you take a Shield Plus, it quickly adds up, if you include the holster, to $2,000.
Right.
So
15. Don't be so over dramatic. Goodness.
Well, that's true. 15. Shouldn't have done it to begin with.
15 before ammo that I bought at the peak of COVID.
Yeah. Oh.
Woo. So we're almost there.
That was a good question, though. I like that question.
Yeah, that was a very good question. How often would you say percentage-wise, if you had to estimate, do you carry your revolver?
90%.
And the other 10?
Well, it was a Shield Plus, but it was stolen.
And you occasionally use like an LCP pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, if I have, like, as much as people don't believe, I do clean the revolver.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't look like that all the time. Or, I'm going to be honest, if I've taken my pants off and put gym shorts on and you're like, hey, we forgot this or we need to run out, I'll just grab the LCP and throw it in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be the other 5%. And then chances are I have another gun on me of some sort.
Somewhere.
Hunting or whatever, then I always have like a little slightly bit bigger gun.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Yeah, that was a very, very good question.
Yeah, I like that question. Are there any level 3 holsters? What does that say?
For the platypus.
But that's not what that says.
I'm aware of what
it says. Level 3 holster B or the platypus.
It's for the platypus.
Okay.
You were typing in it at the same time I was.
So the only one that I'm aware of as far as like a full-blown leather 3 level 3 is you can take, like, if you have the full rail platypus 5-inch, it fits in the Safariland holster. I don't remember the numbers. I can never keep those numbers straight. It's whatever holster number is for the Staccato XC, because that is also a full flush rail, full top 2011, just without the cop.
So that would be the only option you can think of.
There's a couple other level 2s out there that people make that have like the little thumb brake that like flips forward, but like a full blown level 3, like the SLS ALS combo. I'm not sure if Alien, I'm not sure if theirs does it or whoever that Canadian company is that makes one. I'm not sure. The only one I know for sure is Safariland.
And if you don't have a full rail, then 1911 Like some people, when they build a platypus, they don't have a rail on them.
Yeah,
Then you're in any standard 1911 holster.
yeah, I can't see it not fitting a standard like TRP style holster
Mm-hmm.
or
They
any.
have half rail versions of the platypus as well, and so anything that says Springfield TRP, because those do have a half rail.
I would double check on it just because I know the dimensions can be a little wonky, but I visually and physically have confirmed Safari Land works for the 5-inch full rail, which I'm assuming is what they're asking about because it is the
It is the hardest
huge majority.
way to find a holster is with the full rail.
But it's also the by far the largest majority of people. That's how they build the platypus
Mm-hmm.
to look like modern 2011s.
Right. Last question. When are you starting to shoot matches? Northern Illinois is right around the corner.
This is true. This question must be aimed at you.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, it was all fun and games and you thought it was aimed at me. It really is aimed at me. But when are you going to start shooting matches?
I'm going to start shooting matches when there is not a need for a windbreaker, winter coat, or boots or gloves on the range.
Fair weather shooter.
Yeah. That's exactly what that means. The weather must be fair or I'm not a shooter.
Well, things are a little hectic for those. So those of you that know, Jackie was in a little car accident, and I'm fixing her car, and I'm currently in the midst of trying to paint her car. But we've gotten 5 days of straight rain coming ahead of us, so that's not happening.
So all the parts got here a day ago. The last of the parts.
And getting out to shoot matches and whatnot is a little more difficult when I'm down to one car.
Mm-hmm.
So
I need to be carted around
yes,
the passenger princess.
Yes.
Since the first week of March.
So dry fire is going to up quite a bit, and then next month your car should be done. Well, I'll take that back because technically April 1st is tomorrow. Next day.
Joke's on you, buddy. It's tomorrow.
So I'm hoping second week of April your car should be done.
Yeah.
And then I can go back to shooting whatever I want to shoot.
Yep.
So to answer the question, dickhead, soon. But the dry fire will up, and I got to be honest, I've been getting a lot more out of dry fire lately than live fire. Not that live fire is not working for me, but I can do so much more at a random spot in the day, especially since we clean the house. I have a little bit more room to move. Like I can really isolate like an entry exit.
Yeah, the boxes and boxes stacked up of car parts was not helpful.
Yeah. It's a little tricky. We don't live in a very big place, so having car parts for my car, my other car, your car.
Yeah, the entire front end of my car is being replaced. Yeah. So
it's a bit of a project, but we'll get it done. So the answer is soon.
Yes.
That's going to be it for this week, guys. Thank you so much. As always, we truly appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind, please at least leave a little review on the podcast. It does help out. It actually does boost the numbers, and I get notified from the podcast gods that, hey, you're doing such a good job, and we're going to push it out to more people. So if you would please rate, review the podcast, we would appreciate it, and continue to send questions every week, and we'll continue to put this out every week. It will be Tuesday morning next week. I promise. Like I said, schedule's been hectic because someone doesn't want to drive stick.
All right.
But that's it. We'll talk to you next week, guys.
Bye.